Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the O.V.G.C podcast, the online video game club. It's our monthly gaming club, and we are going to be talking about our October game, Fatal Frame 2, for a little bit, as well as going over the options for the other games that we have on our upcoming list before we spin the wheel. I am Zane, and joining me today is whoever wants to jump in next.
Go
I'm
for it,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Go for Jeff.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Jeff does not have a camera today, so you will just be hearing his sultry voice over the rest of us.
Who
I'll
works for us
attempt
for
to,
podcast?
I'll attempt to speak from the more bass register this session.
Ooh, man. It's a good thing the fan's
Beautiful.
on in here.
And I'm Matt or Willow.
Welcome to the show, everybody. And those of you who are here live, thank you for joining us. It's nice to have you for the discussion. When we finish today, I'll be jumping into Game Chat 1 and the voice channels, and we can chat about whatever what came up. If you guys all want to talk about your experiences with our monthly game as well, there with any of us. At least I will be there. I don't know about Matt and Jeff, but yeah. So, yeah, Fatal Frame 2. I had a lot of fun with this one this month. I did get to beat it. I jammed on it for, I felt like 2 days straight, but really it was just like with as much free time as I possibly could get for it. I beat it in a little over 5 hours, and that was with me getting lost and trying to figure out as much as I could on my own without using a guide. I got stuck in one spot in the game because the game really, really likes to have you point at specific angles for certain things. And there was a box that I had to select when I went underground in the Osaka house that if I ran at it at a specific angle, it would not trigger the cutscene. And I left that house, explored the whole village like 2 times, came back to that place, did the same thing again, never triggered the cutscene, left and came back, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I had to look it up online, and it was just like, go to the box. And I was like, I went to the box. And every time I'd go to the box, and then I went back to the box, and when I went at it directly, and I pushed the X button, then it actually triggered the cutscene, and I was so mad. I was like,
See, you didn't go to the box
I was
then.
like, oh, are you kidding me? And I ran past it so many times. Oh my gosh. And just mashing the X button in that room, I was just like, what am I supposed to do this whole time? I was like, I know I'm supposed to be here, but I don't understand what's wrong. Other than that, played it all native hardware, PS2. If anybody saw the last episode, I have the physical copy of the game, so I was able to play it at home. I played a little. I started it with Jeff at his house, and we got through probably the first hour and a half. It was a really good start off point.
We beat it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We also beat it at your house. So I already had a completed save file from like 2008 on my memory card, and after we played for the first hour and a half, popped in the completed save, beat the boss, beat the game, and called it good. Right there. But I ended up going through
Hey
the whole
man, that
game
works, right?
myself. I did go through my whole game myself later. Yeah, I feel like it counted. At least you got to see the end in person, Jeff. So,
Okay, can I start with a question here?
go for it.
Okay, so you played through the entire game afterwards. Um, it felt to me just seeing the ending there that as far as like end bosses or end battles go, that seemed kind of anticlimactic. After playing through the entire game again, did it seem anticlimactic to you, or is it like more of a bigger deal after you play through the whole thing?
Yeah, because I think I had a hard time keeping up with who that ghost was in the game, and I think that ghost was the mistake sacrifice that ended up cursing. Well, not cursing everything because the curse was from Sai, but that ghost was like different ritual ghosts that were like, or something. It was like the curse of the ghosts that were coming up that was just like a bad part of all the sacrifices that essentially became in vain because Sai was killed wrong or something that caused everything. I didn't really understand it exactly. And the dumb thing that I didn't like was that just like in the second house, when it hits you, it instant kills you. It still does that right at the end of the game. And I didn't know that was going to happen. I was messing around with my camera powers and I was trying to do all these different things, and then it just goes and I hit the dirt. I'm dead. The stone mirror item, which is supposed to revive you, does not revive you when that ghost hits you. So I had to redo the entire run all the way to that ghost again. So I ended up having to fight it twice. Um, and before I pass the torch on to one of you guys for a second here, I found out that there's 3 endings to the game. There's one where you run away, which occurs just before the ending, where you can just escape the village without your sister. Without your sister. The second one was the one that you and I saw, Jeff, where you kill her.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a third one where when you beat the game on hard mode, you actually save her, and then because you look in the pit, because she looks in the pit, like grabs her sister's arm, looks in the pit, she goes blind because that's like part of the lore. Like you're not supposed to look down in the pit, and that's how you go blind. Like the mourners, they're all blind. So that's the true ending to the game where you actually save your sister, but now Miyu is blind.
So there's a sacrifice required.
Yes, something bad happens no matter what ending you get. But at least in
Gotta
that,
keep it a typical horror.
yeah, for real. Other than that, I thought the game was really fun. I thought it was a good horror game. I don't think that you could make a horror game like this anymore. Just because like modern controls and other things would dictate that you don't build a game in a style where you have set camera angles anymore, which is kind of a shame that they don't really do that kind of stuff anymore. Because I feel like it could still be doable. I think the problem is that people just don't really want to do it as much. You know, also the game is super duper short. I feel like you'd have a hard time getting people to pay, you know, $60-$70 for a new high end Fatal Frame game. And I know there's newer Fatal Frame games like on PS4 and stuff, but they're really short. They're English translated only. There's no the English translation only is just text. Like everything's still in Japanese, if there even is any English.
The cheap translation.
Yeah, the cheapo way out, which is fine. I don't mind. I like playing them in Japanese too. I had a really hard time in this game though with the radio, the spirit radio, where you had to listen to the gems. I couldn't understand a word that half those gems said, so I just gave up listening to the gems, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, there's stuff here, whatever. It was nice. It was good lore, but it wasn't really worth like fighting through the game for. So, and you could run past most ghosts in the game, as you can see in the video here. That's just kind of how it is. There are some ghosts that you have to beat in order to advance. The game does try to lock you behind certain places depending on what you're doing, but you don't even need to like upgrade the camera all the way for everything. I would just say do the main upgrades, and it's got a little bit of an RPG element to it, which was nice, because it gives you something to mess with, you know, mechanics wise. But yeah, and then it has a challenge mode at the end where you can do like a whole bunch of challenges in the game, so it extends some of the gameplay that way. And that's kind of all I really have to say about Fatal Frame 2. I really enjoyed it. It brought back a lot of memories. Very fun, very spooky. My kids liked watching me play it.
Oh, I got some counter arguments for some of your
Oh,
positives to the game.
tell me.
Yeah. Well, actually, so just kind of going on it, I played it on the Xbox with my brother because Joe has the OG for the Xbox.
Nice.
So that's how we started playing it. And some issues with it is, I guess it's like one of the only Xbox games that you can't save to the memory card. It saves directly to the actual Xbox. So it's like, cool. Well, I'm not going to go ahead and do this hour and a half that we already put into it again. And it was kind of like with a lot of these horror games, I almost relate because I started playing Resident Evil 1 again and I got like those like remastered ones and all that jazz. And it's like the horror that comes in these games is just the challenge of how to play the game. Kind of like going about how you're talking about like the tank controls and everything. It's like that's what made the game almost terrifying. Because realistically, like once you play with like the first ghost, like it's like, okay, this is the rest of the game.
They do
And
make some of the ghosts a little harder, but for the majority of it, all the ghosts are the same.
but it's like that mechanic and like to my like opinion was just annoying.
Hmm.
It's like having to fight with the controller to get into like a good position to take a picture
Yes.
or you get grabbed. And it's like, okay, cool. I am like up here in shit creek. I can't do anything because I'm being limited as a player, which, makes sense for like these games that came out around that time. Tank controls were like a really big thing. I can't really say 3D was like still being revolutionized. It's kind of just like the way that they just did it.
Well,
Because you could think
yeah.
about it, it's just as like a hardware aspect. Because there's a lot of things happening in this game. It's like, well, if you have a free moving camera and you can see more of that,
Yeah.
or a little PS2 is gonna fucking tank.
They did a bad job with the first person controls because the left and right strafe is on the right side, but it also up and down only tilts your camera up and down. You don't go forward or back with that. And then the left
Mm,
side is the forward and back, and then the left and right is the tilt of the camera. And it was like really hard to get the hang of. Now, I did after a while, it wasn't too terrible. But I couldn't like just pull it out every time and be like, okay, what am I doing? And then I would slowly pan towards a ghost that's about to eat my crotch every single time.
yeah.
There was one ghost that has a puppet ghost. And if you take a picture of the puppet ghost first, the little girl ghost that looks just like it runs at you and just like gnaws on you. So if you screw up, you have to drop the camera button, which eats the circle input to put the camera away like constantly. I'd be like mashing circle, and it's just like, and then you get hit, and I'm like, I knew she was coming. Put the camera away, and it was just,
No, it's like
so you just take the hit. So yeah.
no, that's just like the frustration of those games in general, which, in my opinion, just kind of ruins the game. That's like, well, I'll stop playing because it's like this is just a burden to play at this point.
How far did you
So
end up
I
getting?
didn't. I only got the first part, like when I was talking to you off the camera before we went on about how when it went to the sister and you were supposed to walk towards like the witch lady or whatever the ghost lady was.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had to keep moving because like every time they did like a cutscene, it would kind of like transition like that.
Uh huh.
And it's like, okay, cool, it's a cutscene. Why is she not moving? And my brother is all like, you got to move her. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There was some times where it didn't seem like I was in control, even though I should have been, or other.
Also,
Yeah.
the difference between the PS2 and the Xbox version is extremely noticeable.
Like, oh, go
Is the
on.
performance a lot better?
It looks a lot better on the Xbox and performance in general. Like, there's
Okay.
the artifacting is like gone and all that. It's
Can you see
way
more
better of an
detail compared
experience.
to this? Because this is the PS2 version that's playing right now.
I would I would say like the textures and everything were the same. It's just like the models outlines and everything were like cleaner. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
It
they
was
upped
probably
it just
running
a
at.
bit.
It was probably a higher resolution then.
Yeah.
Cool.
So better, very more fun on the Xbox. Except you don't get a memory card, so you can't play it back at your house when you're done hanging out with your brother.
I kind of want to play the Xbox version now just to see how different it is. I'd have to beat the game on normal if I want to beat it on hard because it doesn't let you play hard right away. You have to play through it on normal first. I might
I'm
just do
surprised you said
the
it was only 5 hours.
Yeah, I would say that if I didn't get lost, I probably could have beat it in 4 or under 4.
Wow.
I saw a speed run online. I was checking to see how fast people could beat it, and they can beat it in an hour and a half with a speed run.
Oh wow.
Also, my favorite thing to
Can you
do,
imagine paying 60 back for that?
if you go up and down stairs and you're holding square to run, if you just mash the square button, she skates like the whole game.
That's another. The
Just sliding the whole time. It's too funny.
the running was also annoying
Yeah.
because it's like it was only like one like speed pace faster. It's like, why can't I just do this by default then?
It does have some bad backtracking at the end, where you have to go find some pinwheel items for a puzzle that is in three different places, and one of them is like if you go into the wrong side of the Kiryu house, you have to go through the whole friggin' house again just to get out to the other side because the doors are all messed up behind you, and it's like a one way trap. Oh my god, I got stuck in that, and I was I was mad because I was like,
No, man.
yeah, I was trying to find one specific item, and the game doesn't really give you any hints about it unless you find these visual reels that show you. And if you didn't watch the reel, you didn't know the hint. So, and you don't even know if it's related to it either. That's the thing. Yeah, but Jeff, did you play it at all besides what you and I did together?
I, I just made it through kind of the intro sequence there, and the played through the first little area. Um, uh, I do have some positives. I did like the atmosphere. I like kind of the ghost designs and everything's kind of interesting. For me though, like the game doesn't scratch the itch, like the gaming itch that I want scratched. Um, like even just looking at the stream, the stream here, it's like it's not colorful at all. It's that PlayStation 2, Xbox like brown and gray. Um, Everything is kind of slow paced, slow moving. Um, so for me, it's kind of a hard playthrough. Um, and I'm and when you're talking about things like the backtracking or getting lost at certain points or like having to find a secret, there's games that do that well. I'm a huge fan of Super Metroid. I'm a huge fan of Symphony of the Night, Metroidvanias in general. So there's tons of games that do the backtracking well. There's a ton of games that do like the secret finding well. But when there's kind of weaknesses there, it kind of makes it not the experience that I'm looking for most of the time. But I did like the lore. Did like some of the ghost designs. But yeah, not exactly the genre and the style of game that scratches the itch for me.
I think the Silent Hill series does what Fatal Frame is kind of like attempting to do, where it uses puzzles occasionally. It barely uses puzzles at all, though. It really tries to use like just have you go to different goal markers, take a picture of this, beat this ghost, continue on, and that's kind of how it does. And it's fine, and it's really creepy and for a while. But I almost feel like there was a point halfway through where the developers kind of like ran out of steam for like trying to creep you out. But I thought there was some really cool things that they did that was just like Japanese folklore stuff that was really nice to see, and other little
Mhm.
things that kind of just made you be like, whoa, this is kind of this is creepy what they're doing here with this character. And like if you aren't reading the diaries or the books that are laying around, you literally have no idea what's going on. There's essentially two stories. There's the story that happened in the past that caused this curse, and then there's Miyu trying to find Mayu. So
Mhm.
I think that's kind of all I really have to say anymore about Fatal Frame. And I think at this point we've kind of over discussed it, and I think we should, if we want to briefly touch on Fire Emblem, Genealogy of the Holy War. If those of you who are playing it, I've been playing it for like the last 2 weeks. on and off. I've just been kind of little bit here, a little bit there, whenever I get the chance. I'm up to chapter 2 out of 12 chapters, and I have been save scumming the hell out of this game. I did not want to lose anybody. I ended up losing one horse unit, and I'm really pissed about it because the maps are huge, and you need horses for the whole game. So, I don't know. I want to beat it. I'm really excited about it because every time I sit down and play it, I get really into it. It feels like I'm playing the Fire Emblem GBA game again. I can't remember what that one was called. Sorry. Sorry, Lance. I bet you're screaming it right now.
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. The one that's only called Fire Emblem, you know? In the US. That one and Sacred Stones. I like both those games a lot. And this makes me feel like I'm playing them with a little less quality of life stuff, with not being able to trade items to characters. I don't like that I can't trade an item. I'm not sure I understand if I'm supposed to sell an item to the pawnbroker first and then another character buys it from the pawnbroker. I have to test some stuff at this point, because I hit a point in the game where you can go to the arena and some other things that are typical of other Fire Emblem games nowadays.
I like how you're like, yeah, it reminds me of this game that had a good time, but poorly.
But I'm really getting angry about it.
It's great, but I hate it.
I lost a character. I have to start all over now. The only
How
reason
are you playing, Zane?
I'm playing on the SNES 9X emulator.
Okay, emulation. Okay.
Yep, via PC. So I've got everything hotkeyed, and I'm just doing save states over and over again. So let me see if I can put up Fire Emblem on YouTube.
Good choice. I did just confirm today that it does work on at least FPGA hardware. I haven't tried it on a actual SNES because I don't have a flash card. Do you have a SNES flash card, Zane?
I just did that too.
No. Okay, yeah, it does work on the Pocket, and anyone that's like listening on the club here, if you go on the channel, I dropped a little something to make playing this easier.
Yes, thank you for that.
I need to still start this.
So I just got this going today. That was a long intro.
Yeah. Well, I skipped it, and that was almost 10 minutes.
Even the prologue is like, holy smokes! Like, I'm used to playing some of the later games where it seems like it starts you off really baby steps. Here's 4 units, and you're gonna fight 4 units. The prologue's like, hey, enemy's got 35 guys coming in. Good luck.
Yeah, for real. That was so
sink or
long.
swim.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, go on.
So I'm only probably halfway through the battle here, and I'm starting to like lose guys. And I'm like, man, this seems a really difficult game. This is again the prologue, and I wasn't using half of my units because I didn't realize that like the 2 guys that came in from the top of the map were like my guys.
Oh.
So I wasn't even like attacking all the turns I could have. So I'm like, all right, we're starting this thing from the top, but at least I'll skip the intro next time.
I was going to say, oh my God, that guy just lost Madeir. And I'm like, oh wait, no, that's right. That's supposed to show.
I will say, first impressions, I like the art style. I like how even in 1996, you've got the small little unit sprites, but they have a portrait for everyone. You can kind of see what all the characters look like. That's important to have a connection with these characters.
Yeah.
And to really like get into the story and like want to get these guys to, have their relationship bonuses and all that stuff. So it's cool to see, like, even in 96, them taking like the time to have the presentation that the game does. I really like in the battles how you get like a little, at least it seemed like there was like a little bit of like mode 7 or parallax scrolling on the ground when you're coming in to attack the guy. I love the presentation so far, and I actually am gonna give this a really good go.
All right, good to hear. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to get through it. I'm at that point though where I'm just like I'm just gonna press through it as best I can. I am absolutely gonna use a guide to recruit people because I do not feel like losing all my units and having nobody. But so far the game has not limited me on how many units I can have on the battlefield, and I mean I'll be absolutely giddy if I can have everybody from the entire game as a playable unit on the battlefield. Now that does kind of like sack the stats for my non-horsed units, which whatever. You you don't get a class up in this game until level 20, and the game takes you to level 30, I think, unless it's level 10 and then you go to 30. I don't remember. Either way, you don't have to have seals for class changes in this one. I believe.
And I'm guessing there's no way to turn permadeath off.
No, no, they didn't do
Okay,
that.
yeah, not the old ones, not the old ones.
Yeah, that didn't happen until Fates or Awakening, whatever it is on the DS, whichever one.
For all of us sissies.
There's a lot of Fire Emblems, so I apologize for getting the names wrong. I have played a lot. I've played all the North American ones except for the Wii one, Radiant Dawn, and I
thought that was GameCube.
There's two. There's Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Both are very expensive Fire Emblem games. Yes.
What's a collection?
Why not? Why don't they have a Fire Emblem collection? I feel like if Fire Emblem had come out in North America on the Super Nintendo, I feel like it would have done good. Final Fantasy did good. I feel like Fire Emblem would have also done good. It would have been one of those games people would have been like looking back at and would have been like, "Yeah, but have you ever played Fire Emblem?" And be like, "No." Be like, "Yeah, I dare you to play Fire Emblem and not lose a unit." You know what I mean?
That was like during the time where like the Japanese companies weren't really putting things to North America, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a big like, we don't think Americans can handle RPGs kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, but apparently we could handle spooky games better. The English version of Silent Hill is harder than the Japanese version of Silent Hill.
Oh, too spoopy for them. Just enough spoopy for us.
I don't know. It's the same with Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. We're just too...
Hey, we got those RPGs now, though.
We're just too spoopy. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, so I feel like that's enough about Fire Emblem. Let's talk about our games that are coming up here. So let's go to the wheel.
Time to spin the wheel.
Okay, everybody. Well, not spin it yet. Well, let's talk about everything that everybody's suggested so far. So,
we got some good ones this time.
I think. Whoops. See, that is not.
Oh no.
How did I do that? How did I do that? Oh.
No, does that count?
No,
does that count?
No, it's not. No.
Oh, that is a good one, though.
Sorry. I don't know why it did that. My bad. Ignore that, please. I'm so sorry, Adam, if you were watching. If it lands on Sonic Adventure 2 Battle when we finish, or whatever. Well, let's talk about Sonic Adventure 2 Battle first. All right. So I do have City Escape lined up here for us.
Do we have
has
to
not
play Battle,
played?
or can we play the Dreamcast version?
So the suggestion was for the GameCube.
Okay. There's a few differences.
I have not played the Dreamcast one. Can you tell us what the differences are?
I mean, graphically and I'm not sure if the content's
Functionally.
huge.
I don't think there's any different like content. I think that's all the same, except for how they switched how the Chow Guard and stuff. Like,
Wasn't the
all
multiplayer kind of the addition for the GameCube version?
There's multiplayer for the Dreamcast one, I think, too.
Is there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the Dreamcast did have the battle portion. I don't know why they called it that. I think the Chow Garden was the big difference between the two.
Which is way better for the GameCube because the integration with Sonic Advance 1 and 2 and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
so you could actually take it on the go without the VMU.
Oh
But
my
my
god, I
brother,
totally forgot about the Sonic Advance integration. I sold my copy of Sonic Advance so long ago, and I was so pissed
Ooh.
about it. I should see if
well,
Alan
you have a
still has
pocket.
it. I don't think he does. Oh, that's right. My pocket would work too, wouldn't it?
All
Make
right,
sure
now
you
I
get the
gotta
first
pull
one
up Game Eye
because
and see if I've got Battle 2.
I got two, and two makes you beat like the game on all the characters and get all the Chaos Emeralds before you unlock the Chow Garden.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and I was like, that is stupid. That is half the reason. If Sega went back and just brought a Chow specific game, they would have circumvented their bankruptcy and they could have still been making like consoles today.
If they had if they'd have just done that.
If they just did Chows,
Yeah.
that's everyone wanted
I
Chows.
played Chow Garden so much as a kid.
That's all Joe and I would do. Like when we got Hero and like Dark Chows and stuff, we're
you
like,
just
oh
sit
my
back and be
fucking
like, "Do you see the chow I fucking bred? Oh, he's so fucking metal."
But that's actually that's what's like really like when playing like the Dreamcast and everything, my parents didn't let us like connect to the internet and obviously just be it being dial up and all that jazz. There are so many features that they had on the Dreamcast which you can still get from using like a Dream Pie and everything. Like they had like a Chow Black Market. You could get special chows. You could download like chows to your
Oh
VMU to play on the
yeah, because it
Dreamcast,
had
like special
online
eggs and
saves.
everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like all these things I did not know about until I was 30. And like little 10-year-old me would have been flipping his shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
for
I want all
real.
these special chows. They had special Christmas stuff. There's like
Oh my
special
gosh.
Christmas levels and everything.
What? Oh my
But
gosh.
you wouldn't have known it.
I wonder if there's a way to get that through a Dreamcast memory card, some sort of like port thing. There must be a
You
way to get
can.
it still.
No, you can use the Dream Pie. Like people brought it back. So you
Okay.
can still do all of it.
Okay.
Just you have to have
I
a legitimate Sonic Adventure too,
oh
because
if
the burned ones don't work.
okay,
They
if
got rid
this
of
Oh
the online
no.
stuff.
really. Well, if this one gets picked, I'd rather pick up the Dreamcast version because I have a Dreamcast. I want to play it on the Dreamcast. I don't I've played the GameCube one to death. I have it on Steam. I beat it on Steam. I don't want to play it on Steam again. I would absolutely play it on the Dreamcast version. Here's something new I wanted to introduce to everybody too. Since we're talking about our new monthly game stuff, I want to introduce a challenge for our monthly game pick. So some people might be like, okay, I've already beat this game, and I've played this game already. I'm not going to play it for this month. So I want us that at the end of this, whenever game we pick, the three of us need to come up with a game challenge for everybody to complete through the month. And I would like to see screenshots or pictures in the chats for it. Just somebody be like, "Hey, this is what I did." And I think like when we finish, we'll come up with our reasoning behind, what we want to do. Like such a high score on this, do a thing. I don't know. Breed a dark
I
chow.
have one for Sonic Adventure,
Yeah. If
but I don't. It's kind of a harder one because like my brother and I never did it. You can unlock Green Hill, but you
you
have to
can,
get like 300 emblems.
dear God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, like that's a hard one. If anyone does that, that would be impressive because I've never seen it. My brother and I have never been able to. You have to like A plus every
Everything.
level.
I
Are
couldn't
we
do that
are
when I was a kid, and I couldn't unlock any of the dark suits at all. So, Jeff, what do you say?
well, so are we going for more like achievable things that you might not even have to beat the entire game for, or are we going for like big accomplishments that we should pool some money and like dish out some rewards if they're because like 100% completion on like Sonic Adventure 2 is not a joke.
Let's.
It's not for the Wii.
That's
I
a lot of
mean,
effort. I
I
would I would
don't
I would do
disagree.
something nice for if someone puts that and has a screenshot that they have Green Hill on SA2. I want to do something nice for them.
I think.
I'll send them a Chow plushie because I've been noticing
Oh,
those popping up at
Ah,
GameStop.
exact. Yes.
we
I
could
mean,
do. Well, hold on. Before we start, because we're not just talking about Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic Adventure's the pick now.
We picked it. We
we
did it,
already
guys.
spun the wheel.
No,
Screw
we're
everyone
two.
else.
No, God damn it. No, stop. we have to think about this for the game that gets chosen. I think I think we could at least come up with a like. I would like to develop like a sticker logo for the O.V.G.C. and at least send that to somebody who completes it. Be like, give me your address. We'll send you this. We'll, whatever. It's like you did it, and you are a top gamer or something. I don't know.
A gold star with like really shitty MS like paint. Like you're a
Yeah.
winner.
Either way, we
You're a
could.
winner.
Either way, you is winner. You are winner. You is winner.
Welcome to win.
Oh,
Ha 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 ha.
should probably move on to the next game because I can keep talking about Sonic Adventure forever.
Okay. For some reason,
So
when
what-
you guys talk, my mic is picking up information, and I don't know where it's coming from. So that might be why I had double recording stuff last time. Anyways, if that's the case, I'll know when we finish. Don't worry. I don't know where it's coming from because there ain't nothing that's picking up this mic except for me. But
I heard
for
your
some
microphone
reason,
mixed microphones.
it's showing levels from you guys. All right. Let's move on. Next game. So we have. I'm gonna close this tab. So we have a few regulars. Let's go over the ones that are pretty common that everybody knows. Let's talk about Mega Man X really quick.
So good. It's the perfect SNES game.
That's it. The perfect SNES game. Everybody's played it. You've all beaten it. I have not beaten it. I have started it so many times. I have never beaten it. If this gets picked, I would absolutely take the time to sit down and just be like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this game. I'm going to do it. I've beat every regular Mega Man game, but I can't for the freaking life of me beat Mega Man X. I can't beat any of the Mega Man X games, and I don't know why. I'm so bad at Mega Man
I
X.
don't think I've beaten it.
You
I
have
think
it?
I've always
is
gotten to the end, and then it's like the end is hard.
X1 is the easiest though.
Is it? God damn it, Jeff. 'Cause I have gotten as far as Yellow Devil, and I can't get any farther than that.
Chat Land Striker says X4 is easier. I guess that maybe.
That's
Maybe-
the PlayStation one, right?
That's the PlayStation one.
XP.
It's a little bit different of a game, but yeah, maybe.
Lance, you know so much about video games.
X1, I
love
don't
this.
think X1 is that bad as far as difficulty goes, and it's great. It plays great, controls great, looks great.
But that
sounds great.
Hadouken though.
Oh, okay. Yes, the Hadouken makes it a little easier. Okay, it never worked for
It doesn't.
me. I couldn't.
You
no.
can never time that
I
right.
couldn't do it right. No, I was god awful at it. I still got it. I did get that. That would.
There's
be,
a challenge for Mega Man X.
There you
Get
go.
the
Get the
Hadouken.
Hadouken. That is actually a pretty good challenge.
That's a good challenge, and that's kind of like the 100% reward. So yeah, that's a good challenge.
All right, Mega Man X, Super Nintendo. They made the Legacy Collection. You could pick it up pretty easy. Mega Man X is so easy to find. If you have a Super Famicom, the Mega Man X and a Super Famicom ported over from Japan is cheaper than the American version. Just so you know.
And the US version of X1 isn't that bad, even though.
Oh, I guess
that
it's not
bad.
as bad as the other ones are, but
X2 and 3 are terribly expensive.
yeah.
I didn't even know there was an X, 2, and 3 until I got older. I had only ever heard of X. And then the one for PlayStation. Which you play as Zero, don't you? You don't even play as X.
That's one. You choose in the beginning of the game which character you want to be.
And I picked Zero because he has a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Another popular, well-known game on our list. This suggestion is Majora's Mask.
Oh, that's another good one.
I love Majora's Mask. I love every Zelda game. That is my favorite franchise. I beat the heck out of every Zelda game I can, multiple times.
Zelda's great.
This way, that way. I put hundreds of hours into every single Zelda game, even the old ones. I've played through Zelda 1 and 2 a bunch of times. I just love them. They're just so fun. And I'm still going through the new one, Echoes of Wisdom.
Dude, man, I already beat that.
I'm taking my time on it, mostly because I'm doing a lot of goof off stuff. I keep trying to figure out how to.
It's easy to do.
I keep trying to figure out how to stack things in weird ways.
It's great.
But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Majora's Mask. Got a 3DS remake. We're not going to talk about the 3DS remake. The N64
But
version
that
is
is that going to
so
be an
good.
acceptable playable version though?
No.
They, oh, dude, they did so good on that remake though.
They did. They did a really good job on the remake, and I do like the remake. And I, I have to say though, the the feel of playing this on the N64 is so good. Like it feels good to
Oh, for
use.
sure, it fits.
And I would say like if this got selected, please play the N64 version if you haven't. The 3DS version is great, but the N64 version just feels good. It really tells you what the N64 is capable of in terms of like just a
Mhm.
full on action adventure game. Amazing graphics, really well done world layout. It's just it's the darkest Zelda game. There's so many mechanics to this game too that are, I mean, you literally play as four different characters essentially through the whole game if you think about each mask as a different playable character. And
Yeah, there's also just like the different things when you get the masks, which are also sad about
yeah,
how you get them.
and yeah, collecting the masks is really fun. You know, I just feel like there's so much to do in Majora's Mask. You could beat the game in 20 hours, or you could beat the game in 40 hours, you know, and have literally the same experience, no matter how fast you beat it. It's it probably has some of the weakest boss fights I've done, but probably I would say though that the Snow Temple fight is probably my favorite boss fight out of all the Zelda games. Just being a Goron and just rolling through the whole thing as a giant spiky ball. One of my favorite things. Hate getting to that boss. Really like fighting that boss.
I think there's like ways before where I've like glitched it. Like you're supposed to like do certain steps to get like Epona and everything back. And I think I was able to hop the fence without Epona before. I remember I used to do that a lot, but I
Yeah.
can't
Well, you're
fully
supposed to
remember.
hop. You're supposed to hop the fence with Epona.
Yeah. Well, the spoilers. I'm pretty sure everyone here has played Majora's Mask though.
I will reiterate. I think I've said this before. We're gonna spoil games in this because most of us have played these, or I think a majority of us at least know what's going on in half this stuff.
Fun fact for Majora's Mask, it took me a long time as a kid to play it, and I was still am a huge Zelda fan. As you can see, that there's like a Zelda poster like right there. Um, and that game used to scare the shit out of me because of the masks and
Uh
like
huh.
him putting on and just screaming.
Same.
I literally stopped playing that game so many times. I don't even think I beat it fully until I was like 14. When I was like, I'm a big boy, I can do this. I won't fucking cry. Uh,
Completing the Boomer's Notebook. I feel like that would be a good
Boomer's
challenge.
Notebook.
The Boomer Notebook. Yeah,
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that would be a good challenge.
that's a good challenge.
Yeah, I want to see you make Anju cry at the end. Reunite Anju with Keifi. All right.
But how are you supposed to get that fierce deity mask? You got to do it.
You have to do it. You have to do everything to get the Fierce Deity mask. So, but there are certain things in the Boomer Notebook you don't have to complete. Let's take a look really quick at Wario Land 4. If
See,
you
this
I remember
scratches the itch for me. Look at how bright and colorful it is. Look at how fast the gameplay is. Like my ADHD brain, this is what a game is.
this fills me with a happy
Jeff,
chemical.
light off, tell us about it. It's your selection.
I've never completed this game. I've played through the first world a few times, and I've always loved like the graphics, the controls, and like the general gameplay loop is you enter the stage, you get to the end, and you trigger like the time bomb or whatever. Then you have to make your way back to the beginning of the stage. But the path changes each time. Like there'll be blocks that can turn and from invisible to visible, or appear and disappear. So there's kind of the path to the end of the level, and then the separate different path back to the beginning of the level. I enjoy it, and I've never actually beaten it, so that's why it was my pick.
I've played a little bit of it because you get it for free for the 3DS Ambassador program if you were an early adopter of the 3DS when Nintendo did a big goof up or whatever the heck it was that they did the initiation for.
Lowered the price.
Yes, they lowered the
Mm.
price and made everybody mad. So I have played a little bit of the Egyptian Aztec temple, whatever level that you start in. I think it's an Egyptian level. I think it's a pharaoh related because it's tombs and money and stuff. Um, the controls for this game are wild. There's so many weird things that Wario does that you wouldn't even think about doing until you tried it. Like that Wario crawling. I wouldn't have thought of Wario. Oh, I just keep crawling through the air to get through that hole. Like, come on. Yeah, the timer always kind of gives me like anxiety. But does the timer keep going after you've collected stuff? Like, right? Like this? Now you've got to escape, right?
Yes, that's why he's trying. That's why he's moving fast, because you got to bail before that gets to zero.
Okay. So, yeah, never really liked that part of the game.
No, I'm excited for this. The last Wario Land game I ever played was the Virtual Boys.
Wow. Okay.
That's a good one too, though. That's a good one too.
I do think
My
Wario Land is good in general.
It always was fun. Like I wasn't able to play a lot of it because it was my older brother's system,
Yeah.
and obviously the Virtual Boy did not, withstand the test of time. But
I haven't even thought about making Virtual Boy game suggestions yet for our monthly game. So now I'm kind of thinking
I've got
Jack
the
Bros.
hardware.
Yeah, but I want to do Jack Bros, bro. Mario,
everyone's
Mario
gonna have
Games.
headaches that month.
I believe there's a Virtual Boy emulator now for the 3DS if you have it homebrewed.
Oh, for
So,
real?
and
Oh,
it
that's
is
awesome.
3D, so that might be the way to play that one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Without the headaches.
Yep.
Oh my god, what kind of... That's the opposite of Mario. Instead of his body blowing up, his head blows up from a bee sting.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be Wario. Come on, Zane.
Alright, it made me cough. Yeah, so not bad. I think Wario Land 4 is a good pick.
How much is that going for right now? I wonder if that's one I would go pick up on actual hardware.
Let me check the Game Eye here.
While you're looking
Loose
at...
$27.
Oh,
So it's
That's
under
not
30
bad.
for the
that's
cart.
good. Nintendo already gave me the ROM officially, so I won't be buying it.
No, Nintendo doesn't use emulators. They
No.
use all of their own original hardware.
No, absolutely. Next up on the list is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow.
Ooh, another good one.
Really good one. If you like Symphony of the Night, which I know, Jeff, you already mentioned today, Aria of Sorrow is like Symphony of the Night's little big brother.
Little Big Brother.
I'd say so.
Really good game, little bit shorter than Symphony of the Night. I feel like it kind of misses the mark in a few ways that Symphony hits well. I
Are we
really,
not getting the cool trails that you make in the PlayStation version?
I mean, you still get good stuff. I just think that the GBA is not as good of a console as the PS1, and the PS1 version, the PS1 Symphony of the Night game is just better in my opinion. But Aria of Sorrow is different. It
It's the best
really,
Game Boy Advance Castlevania for sure.
yeah, out of the three. Just came out in a collection not too long ago. So I feel like it would be a good opportunity to pick up that collection because it's literally the same game. There's nothing different. You can just play it on modern hardware. Aria of Sorrow is kind of a more expensive one, along with Dawn of Sorrow. I think both those are expensive ish.
I have the dual pack, like the dual collection cartridge for this game that came
Oh,
with Harmony of
really?
Dissonance. It was actually cheaper. It was going for like cheaper on eBay at the time than either of the individual games. And I'm like, okay, I'll just get that one.
So it actually looks like it's 45% off on Steam right now for that collection you were talking about, Zane.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
So there you
yeah,
go.
until the 4th.
Pick it up now, even if we don't select it. It's a damn good game. If you haven't played Aria of Sorrow, but you've played Symphony of the Night, pick up Aria of Sorrow. It's a good game. I just beat Aria of Sorrow like a couple years ago, I think, or last year. I don't remember. I played it. I played through it on. I played through it on emulation, just because I didn't want to pick up. I didn't want to pay for a copy.
You mean you played a backup legitimate version of your real game that you have?
I literally don't care about these semantics, so go for it.
Until Daddy Nintendo comes knocking on the door.
I stole this game,
Open up.
and Konami can suck it.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about Konami, man.
Aria of Sorrow is a great game. I think. I mean, it's an RPG, random loot drop stuff. I feel like a really cool challenge for this would be to like find out whatever the rarest loot drop thing is in the game, and just be like, find that loot drop, or something. So that's nice.
Get
That's
the
interesting.
humongous, big, giant sword weapon.
Yeah, beat the
Was it
game.
Soul Callias or something?
Fight Dracula with just your fists.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 hours later.
That'd be so sick. This guy just rolls up into Dracula's castle and fist fights him.
You know the terminal montage thing for Super Metroid when she's walking up and she just pulls up the arm?
Yeah, pulls
I
her
can just
arm
like
cannon
imagine how
up.
you're gonna go
Yeah.
fight like Dracula. It's just like,
It's so good.
come on, old man.
I can imagine him screaming. Yeah. So next on our list here is Turok, Dinosaur Hunter
Nice.
for the N64.
Dude, I remember getting that when I was younger and hating it.
I can't imagine enjoying this game nowadays, but it runs fast based off of what we're seeing. It has the same shooting mechanics that GoldenEye did, but this one's made by Acclaim,
Doom, all
not
of those.
Rare. Yeah, very doomy. Like the problem is the infinite fog because of the rendering distance for the N64 is shit.
I was gonna say, wow, that's a very foggy game.
Yeah, it's like where and the levels are huge. The levels in this game are huge. I don't know how you know where you're going.
You either get 30 frames in fog or 1 frame and just infinite vision.
Yeah, and you play as a Native American fighting dinosaurs in a pair of jeans. That's what he wears, is jeans.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
Go Turok.
I only have Rage Wars and Seeds of Evil, so if this is the game, I'll have to go and pick this one up.
I think it's pretty affordable. I would probably like to try this one on native hardware before I get pissed and play it on emulation and have to just save scum it. Or at least play it with a guide. I may end up having to play it with a guide. With how huge these stages are and how good this guy is doing platforming wise and not falling into that water, I think I would screw that up a few too many times in first person.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is not him playing on 64 hardware.
I was gonna say, is this typical like gameplay or
Yeah, this is the game.
is it? Well,
He's
no,
getting
but
like
like,
really fluid like movement.
yeah, I'm like, this guy's like really like strafing and aiming.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know
you
if
know
the
what?
game really runs that well or if it controls that well.
Yeah, you're right. This long play archive probably is not that good. It is probably using emulation.
Yeah, because it's like
Probably.
he looked up and down like
Yeah.
without struggling.
He's probably got the camera hooked to his mouse. That's why it's
You got
moving
the
so fast.
keyboard mouse hacks, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wow, this
Yeah,
guy's moving
actually,
for an
I was like, this is really good too. Yeah, now that you pointed out, yeah, now it makes sense.
This is probably
Too
like
good.
the one I'm gonna be like lesser excited if it gets picked. But watching the gameplay, I'm like, I wonder how good you can get with an N64 controller and like one of the default control methods.
Painful blistered hand.
Oh, good. Good thing he dropped his revolver for a bow and arrow.
Well, it worked out for him. He killed that big thing.
All weapons kill things. So Turok, there you go. So
Oh.
not really my cup of tea at this point. I think I probably would have given it a good shake when I was a kid, if it was all I had. But yeah, well,
I like how we're already bashing it, and it could very well be our November pick.
I know. Here we go. Conker's Bad Fur Day. This one's mine.
Oh,
I really
classic.
want to play this. Conker has had a really bad start for this, with Nintendo canceling it and then Rare having to pick up the pieces on it. I mostly want to play it because it was like the last N64 game that Rare did, right? I think.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
did they do Banjo
That's why
Tooie
it's worth.
after this or during it?
I think it was before, because I think that's like how a lot of these games get rare, is that they're the end of the life cycle games, like
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger and everything.
Yeah, because I don't think it was popular because of its gameplay, because I'm pretty sure it's not really that fun to play. If I recall, because when I first tried it, I was not enjoying it at the beginning.
The controls take a little bit of work to get used to. I remember.
Yeah, I was gonna
I've
ask
got
you
the
about it.
actual cartridge, and there's one point that I just got stuck just because I could not make a certain jump. So the controls can be a little bit wonky sometimes. But just seeing how much raunchiness they put in an N64 cartridge makes the playthrough worth it. Like, this was on the N64, guys. Like, when Nintendo was pretty PG,
Nintendo's
and
hardcore game.
the N64 version of this game is less censored than the Xbox version.
Here I am, you greedy bastard. The well, the Xbox version. Did they re-release it on the Xbox, or was it?
Was it the
They
Xbox? Or
like
like,
Are you
I think it
talking
was
about
the
updated
the
OG
it.
second
Xbox.
one? Because
No. I think the OG Xbox had like the
Live and Reloaded.
Conquer Live and Reloaded. Yeah, they actually censored that game.
wait, Live and Reloaded was a remake?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just
of
like
this one.
Oh, I thought that was
reported.
the sequel. No, what was
There was
the?
never a sequel.
I thought there was a sequel.
There's like a spiritual successor that came out for
What?
the 360, I think,
Oh, okay.
and it
Well
was
then,
just like some, what was it? It was something Microsoft was pushing for another programming language type thing. It wasn't XNA, but it was like another thing that they were trying to do,
huh?
which Rare, being Microsoft's, little lackey, was
Yeah,
forced to put out something.
yeah. Okay. I thought Live and Reloaded was a sequel. Wasn't Revenge of the Teddies or something the actual sequel then, or something?
I think that's
Something
just something
about
different.
was that? Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, the beginning of the game starts out Conker is kicked out of a bar and he's fucking drunk and you have to stumble
It's
home.
amazing.
what a weird game. What a classic gem. I really on the N64 that if you pick this up you have to be like, "Yo, this is what the fuck were they doing on the N64 at this time?" And for Nintendo to allow
Innovating.
it and them being an M for mature game to take the remnants of what was supposed to be a platformer based off of their characters that they free made for Diddy Kong Racing. I can't imagine what Pipsy and Tip Top games and Bumper and stuff would be like from the other Diddy Kong characters if they continued that trend. I feel like Rare thought they were like Rare must have thought they had this like grand vision of this entire world of platformers featuring
huge
these
franchise.
characters like Banjo and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I guess they could have continued to make platformers like this, but like, holy shit! I feel like Banjo Tooie ran out of a lot of ideas too.
They tried. Remember Nuts and Bolts?
Yeah,
We don't talk about nuts and bolts.
I don't like nuts and bolts. Some people like nuts and bolts, but whatever.
That's like people saying they like Sonic 06. They don't actually like it.
It's like it's like it's either ironic or you're just like, no, stop
Yeah.
trolling.
You
But
don't
yeah,
actually enjoy games. You
I
like
wanna.
suffering when you
I
play
really, I
games.
really do want to play this. I want to give this. I want to give this one a one, like run right through. I want to play this whole game. It looks like a lot of fun, at least at this point. I just hope I don't like. I just hope I don't play it and I'm like, God, this world is so big and there's nothing to do. I don't want it to be a ukulele experience.
I will say for Conquer, as you progress in the gameplay actually gets different. Like it actually becomes more of like a third person shooter near the end.
Yeah.
So like there's some variety in Conquer. You just have to keep playing and get past like the kind of platforming start of the game.
Okay, so it kind of turns into
And you
more
get all
of
the
a.
funny stuff happening.
It keeps changing.
Oh, okay, okay. I do know there's the Great Mighty Pooh opera that it
Hell
goes through,
yeah.
which I don't know how
You also
long.
find one of your old relatives.
For real, there's so much
Yeah.
to this. Okay.
There's a lot of funny like interactions in this game. I've never beaten it. I watched my brother beat it numerous times,
Oh,
but
how
it's pretty funny.
how long is it? Do you know? Do you happen to know?
I probably wouldn't say it's no more than 20 hours.
Okay.
Oh,
I'd
I
probably say it's even
that's
less than that.
I
Okay.
would think so.
Okay. So pretty easy to get through. Good.
Now I got to look up the time to beat.
I was hoping it was within our time frame. Because I know Banjo Kazooie can get pretty long, but it's pretty doable within 15 hours, 15, 16 hours.
Main story 11 hours it says.
Oh,
Main plus
okay.
sides 12 hours. Completion is 12 and a half. So
Not
yeah,
bad.
that's about what I expected.
I don't even know who this doofus is.
Well, you'll find out. Don't worry.
A guy straight out of
If it
Roger
if it
Rabbit.
happens, there's a lot of references in this game.
Okay. Fan for our last game. Amazing Penguin for the Game Boy.
I've never heard
Amazing.
of this.
I had neither. Seasons told me about it when I was talking to him a little bit ago. He said he just picked up a random generator for Game Boy games, and this was a puzzle game with 40 levels, and it's made
This is
by
just a box
Natsume.
game.
It's made by Natsume. It actually has some pretty decent music to it. I'm not going to play it because it's super duper loud over my thing. You guys
So it
won't
kind of
hear
looks
it. But
looks
It's
like
just
you
a
have
box
to just
game.
get the boxes to fill in.
yeah, so empty the boxes. Don't hit guys. Don't run out of time because there is a timer at the bottom right. You can see.
Conceptually similar to Pac-Man.
Pretty simple. Lets you go across all
It
those
looks
little
fun.
things. Yeah, I think it would be a good little time waster. I could play that on
Hmm.
the.
Way better
I
than Tetris Attack.
I think I would play that on the Pocket
Yep.
here and there just before bed. Do a couple stages or rooms.
I can't imagine this is that expensive.
Oh, gosh, probably not.
I mean,
It's
looking at
probably
the
in one of
game,
the bargain bins.
I was gonna say, looking at the gameplay, like it looks fun enough. I might even just pick it up just to have in my collection,
That's true. That would probably be.
depending on the price.
Oh, look, you're on cover a
Well,
picture that time. He is.
wow.
Is he playing a violin? For a couple.
Actually, oh, they redid it for limited run, so I guess it was well known enough.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
Because for the limited run that someone's selling on eBay right now, they want $80 for it sealed.
Whoa.
Oh no.
What is the Game Boy original Game Boy version?
It's actually
It says-
kind of expensive. It's
Oh.
25 without all of the stuff, but
Interesting. I mean, I would just buy it loose.
I was gonna say this is saying it might be like even as low as 15 loose. So
I've seen there's some of them that are like that. But then again, with
there's-
limited run being in there
ooh.
now, that might be hard to get like.
Oh, it's a
telling
hack.
it's
Never
legit.
mind. I see that someone did make an amazing Penguin DX hack, and I'm like, ooh.
Wow. Okay. So, a
Cool.
random puzzle game on our list that I think none of us have played. I don't think anybody in the O.V.G.C has played. If any of y'all have, please raise your hand. But, yeah. So exciting.
Need entry.
All right. So, without further ado, we get to
Drum
pick
roll.
we get to pick our game of the month. Let's.
I
What
hope
do we
it's
got?
Sonic Adventure 2 like it was the first time.
Oh my god. No,
Oh,
for
wow.
real? Are you fucking
Oh
kidding
my
me?
gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Oh shit.
Oh,
All right.
all right. Well, just how you were saying earlier for that challenge, we can do both Hero and Dark Chow Gardens.
Hero and Dark Chow Gardens. I think that's a pretty good challenge. I think if anybody goes the extra mile and y'all do Green Hill Zone, you're nuts. I'll send you something. I'll send you a chow.
We'll all send you something.
Well, yeah,
You get a
give us,
stuffed chow if you get that.
yeah, tell us
We'll
about
make
it.
that happen.
And y'all need to document it in some way because I ain't gonna accept no damn cheats.
Yeah,
It's just a
no.
link to a YouTube video.
You best prove it.
If you're gonna put that much effort into it, stream it. It'll be worth it.
Oh my gosh.
I might do that. I'm probably going to do a lot of stuff with the Game Boy Advance thing in the pocket.
Do something
Because-
if you do something, Matt Chan. Take it, send like
Slips.
make a video series. Yeah, make a video series and we'll put it up on our YouTube channel for the O.V.G.C. Which is it's my YouTube. It says it's called the Kiff Miller. If anybody needs to follow me, but
Also, pro tip for when trying to get a Dark Chow, you don't have to throw them against the wall, as my brother and I learned when we were younger, as a good character to
Okay.
make them fear you, because they'll cry, and it's very upsetting. You just use a dark character,
yeah,
and they'll turn dark.
I think I remember that. So there you go. There's our game of the month, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, GameCube version, Dreamcast if you're feeling frisky.
Feeling risky. The Dreamcast versions cost a lot now. I think Sonic
Do they
Adventure 2.
seriously? Oh man.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, they do.
100 and 200.
No,
they are
why?
not cheap.
The only Dreamcast game I have is Soul Calibur. Ugh.
That one's worth like a decent amount of money too. It's like 80.
This one's gonna be brutal on the wallet, guys.
Well, I think
Holy
the GameCube one is cheaper.
You kidding?
It should be.
I have the GameCube one. I bought it when it came out. So
And that's the one that was technically picked, was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yep.
So you're good.
That's
so you
true.
don't have to go get it,
that's true.
the original Dreamcast one.
You said you've got Battle, Zane?
I do have Battle, yeah.
Could I mean, I guess I could just but if you could bring it over at some point, I could dump it and we could get the ISO.
Sounds good. I might actually have two copies.
My hacked Wii can do that.
See, now I'm gonna have to drive up to Alpena to hang out with you guys, because then we can play Chow Gardens on the Game Boy Advance.
Jeff.
I think there was
So
like
do you,
multiplayer.
do you have to
for
have
that.
a Sonic Advance for that to work?
Advance 1 or 2. So
Okay.
Advance 1 automatically lets you get the Chow Garden. Advance 2 makes you beat the entire game, I think, with every character and get the Chaos Emeralds to unlock
Holy
it.
smokes! So just get
which is
Advance
stupid.
1.
Yeah.
Is Advance 2 a much
Why do you
better
have two
game, or is
copies?
I don't
Advance-
know why I have two copies. I don't remember.
They were
Bruh.
pretty much the same.
But
Like, I didn't notice much of a difference.
oh, now I know why I have two copies. The Sonic Mega Collection is in this one.
Oh,
So it's just the case. But this is the OG one. So there you go. Okay.
I got that too.
Thank you,
I actually
everybody,
bought-
yes, thank you.
for joining us today. We appreciate all your time. This is
And I'm glad I made people happy by telling them that I abused chows as a child while crying.
and it's officially recorded. We have that on tape now. So
There's 2 things officially recorded today.
I won't post the other one. Don't worry. I'll
Go
just-
ahead, send it to Lana.
I'm
She'll
just
love
gonna
it.
send it to Lana. Yeah.
looks like the Player's Choice Battle 2 you can get for about $55, which that's acceptable. Dreamcast version is going to be about 100,
I
150
will-
bucks depending on the case.
I will bring you the official copy so you can dump it. So
Cool. That'll save me some money.
all right, everybody. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to be jumping into Game Chat 1 after this. If anybody wants to chat for a little bit. November, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Hope you all enjoy it. As well as those of you who are still working on Genealogy, the Holy War, for our last quarter game. This has been the O.V.G.C podcast. Peace.